Well, hello, hello, and good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Get Acquainted. And tonight I have a very special guest, someone I just met, and I'm so happy to be able to bring her forth so that she can share what she's doing to help others in this world. So as you come in, make sure that you like, share, comment. Let us know where you're coming in from. And also share. They say sharing is caring. So we want to make sure that we share the broadcast out and tag someone if you have someone that needs some hope tonight. This is still the National Month of Hope. So we're going to do our discussion that's going to start there. And then we're going to hear more from Miss Julie Harris, which is my guest on tonight. And so thank you again as you come in. I'm going to take a second here to share it myself. And then as you come in, again, let us know where you're coming in from and let us get started with this discussion. So I think my guest is all ready to come on out here because I know she has a lot to tell us, but we're gonna do a little discussion first. Hey, Miss Julie, how are you this evening?
I'm fine. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and I'm
That's
really
good.
glad to have you on the show tonight. We were
I thank you
talking.
for
This
having
is yes, this is the National Month of Hope.
me.
And I know what you're doing in the world is bringing hope to people. That's why I was like, man, I got to have her on the show because I know this will be right up her alley. And so
Yes.
today, everybody, we're celebrating. You want to hear me say this one more Thursday because we have one more week to celebrate the National Month of Hope. And it
Okay.
is held on the belief that things will work out, especially when it seems otherwise. When you hear that, what does that say to you, or what thoughts come to mind, Julie?
Um, the fact that we all know that we all face dilemmas in life, and
Hmm.
we're gonna have ups and we're gonna have downs, but we are to always stay hopeful that things do change,
Hmm.
that change is going to come, that we're not gonna stay in that place forever.
Yes,
So just to know that you have the ability to have hope and believe, because hope and belief all comes one and the same, but you have to believe it. So
yeah,
to me, hope is about change.
yes, absolutely. I was teaching Sunday from the scripture in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, where it says, hope is the evidence of things, faith is the substance of, hope is the, wait a minute, let me get this straight. Faith is the substance of things hoped for,
Mm-hmm.
but not yet seen. We
Mm-hmm.
don't see the evidence of it yet, but we have to hold on to hope. And all
Yes.
month I've been reminded of Jesse Jackson. I know you'll remember Jesse Jackson back in the 70s or early
You
80s. He
say
was
hope,
saying, what?
hope alive,
Keep
keep
hope
hope
alive,
alive
keep hope alive. And that's been like
all the
my
time.
mantra all the time. That's been my mantra this month. Keep hope alive
Right.
because it really will help you to make it through those dark times. Like you said, even when it seems like it's just never going to happen. And then it just takes one connection sometimes, like connecting to what the work we do, I do, the work you do, that could change somebody's whole, life, their whole outlook on life.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hmm. And so then I found this quote that they say a lot, those that started the National Month of Hope. The best you can do for yourself and others
Mm-hmm.
is to always choose hope over hopelessness.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. You
Very
know,
true.
I'm sure all of us know a time when we felt hopeless, you
Oh,
know.
definitely. We all have those
Yeah.
days where we felt like,
Hmm.
is this ever going to change? Am I going to stay here forever? Lord, I
Hmm.
need your help. God, can you hear me? We've
Hmm.
all had those, and
Yeah,
we all still have those at times where we
exactly.
find ourselves falling into that and saying, oh my God, I don't think this is going to change. I want something else to happen for me, and he still reminds us that he hasn't left us.
That's right. That's what
It
we
might
have
not
to.
seem like it's happening right now,
There you
but
go.
when you go back and you look and you figure out if you're going through something or you got a bill and you don't know how you're going to pay it, you might get a phone call. And
That's
somebody says,
right.
girl, how you doing? And you say, I'm fine. I'm just, trying to, make it up. But well, I was thinking about you. And is there anything you need me to do? That's God right there sending somebody that had you on their mind, and they want to be able to be a blessing to you at some point without you even asking. Sometimes you never even have to ask verbally to a person. A lot of times you are connected to people in consciousness, where a lot of times people say, oh, I was just thinking about you.
Yeah.
You're
That's what there's a
somebody.
song. Yeah, there's a song that says, God put me on your mind, and you took a little time to pray for me, or you took a little time to get on the phone. The song is to pray for me, but sometimes they take that time to give you a call to follow that unction. Sometimes God moves on. Is one sister that I follow here, and we do a lot of collaborating and just supporting each other. She always says, her name is Patricia Rogers. She's the visibility strategist. She always says, people need people. And that's true. What can we do without each other?
But see, that's why it's good that people understand that being, how can I put it without, let me make sure I'm saying this the right way, but someone won't take it the wrong way. It's very important that people understand that you must come in and talk to people. You have to be open and be able to be around people. Environment is everything. So when COVID hit a lot of people, it messed a lot of people up, because a lot of people are used to collaborating with other people. They're used to being in company with other people. And it's really good. That's why they say social skills are very important. So that part of being able to be in social skills with other people, it does a lot for you. That's why they say it's so important for children to be able to interact with other kids, because they develop good social skills.
Exactly. When the pandemic first hit the world and everything was shut down and everybody had to go into isolation. For some people, some, like you just said, some people did not make it well through that time, because they were not, we're social creatures. That's how we're made up. And some people were not used to just being by themselves or making use. Some people were glad. Oh my God, I got time. I don't have to be around everybody, and putting on all the hats and the faces and, all of that. But some people had a really hard time with that. And
they really did.
Yeah. And that's when we really find out we need each other, and that's when people got so creative, like StreamYard, Zoom, FaceTime, and being glad to have those times to communicate with each other, even though we couldn't touch.
And that was their way of connecting. That was their way of staying connected, because watching the news was just like so ever depressing. I mean, like, it was really depressing then. I mean, the news was bad. I mean, you had COVID going, you had the president going, it was just so much. And every day it was just like something bad. It was so negative every day, all day long.
Yeah, it was
never really heard the stories.
It was the unknown we were all in. And I know I had days I didn't feel hopeless, but I just felt I would watch the news sort of like what else they gonna say? What's the number?
Right, you really figured out what else is there to watch. Because if I got to watch all of these stations, and every station is about the COVID, the this, the that, and everything was just so negative, you very seldom saw them speak upon anything that was enlightening. That made people feel good. It was like all of the news was just always bad press, bad press. It was like they were pushing bad press all day long. And this was from sun up to sundown. I kind of missed the days when the TV went off at night. Remember that when the TV used to actually go off. You could not watch TV 24 hours.
It sure did. And that's never.
And they need to go back to that.
That's never.
But you saw the fuzz and it say shh.
It sure did. The little thing would come and then it would just go.
Exactly. And that was it. TV went off. You couldn't watch TV after a certain hour.
That's true. If you remember, we got a few people watching, so we want to address them and say hello to them. And but if you remember when the TV used to go off, we're here in the Chicago area. Let us know where you're coming in from as well. I guess they did that everywhere. I imagine so. But
I remember those days. I
Yes. Who
remember
we have
those
with
days.
us?
The TV used to go off.
Who do we have with us tonight?
Her name is that Simone
Mm-hmm.
Rowe? Okay.
She said,
Hi,
she
how are
said,
you? I'm glad you
yes,
like it. Thank you for
yes.
tuning
She said,
in.
I love this.
Thank you
Then
for
we
tuning
have
in.
Shirley Pat, and her name Shirley Patterson, Shirley Pat, and there must be some what do you call those emojis that I can't see what they are.
Yeah, those are
But she
clapping
had,
hands.
okay, okay,
She
good.
said, "True, I am a witness." I know to that TV going off at night.
And she's in New Jersey.
Oh
Yes,
yes, I
yes,
just
yes.
I have a few friends in Jersey.
Oh, okay. Small world.
Hmm.
Then she also said we do need each other.
Yes, we do. We
And
really
then she
do.
said,
We people don't realize how much we really do need each
yeah,
other. People
this
tend to
this
think that they don't really need each other, and being able to collaborate with people and being able to collaborate with your family and your friends,
hmm hmm
even in social gatherings where you meet new people.
new people. I
New
have,
people.
but you know what? During the pandemic, I met so many new people just by because we were online. I was already online, but
Yes.
I ended up networking with in new circles. And
Hmm.
even like meeting you.
Yes.
This is the new connection.
And it
Pat,
allowed you to come out your comfort zone. You had to come up out of your
you
comfort
had
zone.
to. You had to. And for
Right.
some people, they'll never go back. They talk about going back the way it was.
There's no
No, I
such
think we
thing.
got a new way of being.
There's
Some
no
things
such
are never
thing.
going to be the same.
There's no such thing.
Mm-mm.
Everything, if you think about it, you cannot go back to what the 70s were. You can't go back to what the 80s were. We can't go
Right?
back to what the 90s were. We can't
Mm-mm.
go back to what 2005 was.
No,
We can't
no,
go
no,
back
don't
to
want to
what
go back that far.
2015, 14, 13.
That's right.
We can't
The
go back to
60s, the
those times and
70s,
those
none of
days.
it.
They're
Hmm.
over. We have
That's
to,
right.
hey, that's why it's called change.
That's why it's called change. I love it. I
That's why it's
love
called
it.
change. And people should
Wow.
hope for something new to enter their lives. If you stay and want something to stay the same, then there's never any growth.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
never any growth. If
Yeah.
you
We
never
have to.
experience change, there's no growth.
I always say there's always more. I don't care how accomplished you are, how much you know in your, because of your studies and your degrees.
Hmm.
There's always more. Nobody knows it all.
Oh
Only
no,
God
never.
knows it all. Nobody knows it all. We know in part. And as long as you keep living, you should be learning, ever learning, ever
Should never
connected,
stop
keeping
learning.
that brain active.
You
I
never
just,
stop learning. And a
hmm
lot of people tend to think you can't learn stuff from, okay, so let's say age difference. A lot of
hmm
times people think because they're older that they
hmm
can't learn things from someone younger than them, because
right.
people tend to realize that, and they don't realize that your experience, because you're older than me, there might
hmm
be some things that, not you and I per se, but let's say
Right.
someone much younger than us, there are
hmm
things that they experience at another level that we might not have experienced.
Right.
So they're able to teach us and explain some things to us that
hmm
we've never experienced at that
Right.
level.
Yeah, because
So
hmm
everything's different. I mean, there
yeah,
might be a young lady that's been through some things that I've never been through.
and
So
it's
there's
the
something
truth.
he can explain to me because I've
hmm
never actually walked in that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
some of
saying?
what some of what
Yeah,
the
they
young
just don't.
people, yeah, some of what the young people, and I know you know it probably even more than me because you're around young people a lot more than I am right
Hmm.
now.
Yes.
But there are things that they're going through that we didn't go through, as we weren't exposed to, as coming up as young 10, 11 into our teens. The things that they're exposed to in this day and age is it's just way, sometimes you still have to keep hope alive, for them to make it through, for them to become what God has called them to be in this world, and so that they can hold on to hope.
Thank you,
So,
because a lot of people don't tend to think that
mhm,
even though we might not have been exposed to certain things,
mhm,
there was a lot of things we were exposed to. It's just
that's
that
right.
now social media is open
Mm,
and kids don't have to go outside to
Yeah.
see, hear, and know and be in certain areas. It's all on social media.
Right
So
at their fingertips.
everything's there. In order for you
Mhm.
to know certain things or knew certain people, you had to be in those neighborhoods over
Mhm.
there at so and so's house. They
Mhm.
don't have to do that anymore. They
Right.
can be exposed to everything on social media, and they ain't never got to walk out the door.
Yeah. I heard some kids say, young people say that, they were kind of glad when their families had to spend time together because they didn't spend time together like that
Well, no, because
before.
everybody was on the go. Everybody's on the go.
Hmm.
Everybody's constantly move.
Hmm.
Everybody's moving around.
Now everybody's ready to get out and and have some space. And so, that's what we're going to talk about tonight as far as what you're doing. And I just, I love that. We got another person to come in tonight. Make sure that you share. Thank you all for commenting. We've got Satinka Brasington.
How do I
Amen,
share
she
this?
says. Let us
How do
know
I
where you're
share
coming.
this? I'm trying
Yes,
to
let us know where you're coming in from. We'd love to know. So this
How do I
National
share
Day.
this, sis?
Mhm.
How do I share this?
If you're on Facebook,
Hmm.
you can go to, if you didn't get a notification, you can go to my page, which is Hillary Gooden,
Okay, let me go here.
and we're on live.
Okay, got
Hmm.
it.
And then you can share it from there.
Oh, I see. I'm
Yeah.
crazy. Thank you.
We're live here on my page. Now we're live on your
Okay,
page, and
I
we're
just
live
shared
in
it.
my Facebook group, which is Transform Your Health and Peace. And we're also live on YouTube. So I thank you for those that may be watching on YouTube. Thank you to our replay viewers as well. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to my page and hit that notification button so that you'll get notifications every time I go live. And so, just wanted to get that little shout out. One last thing I had here about the National Month of Prayer, hope, because you got to hope and pray. They go together. And I think you said that earlier about believing, hoping and believing, hoping and prayer is just essential. Now, Dr. Rosalind Tompkins, she started Mothers in Crisis. And we'll talk about it a little more. And then they decided to do this National Month of Hope because they saw that people need hope, need to be reminded of hope, need to give hope to one another, speak hope, be an example of hope. And so they were a support group. Can you read? You can read I know you're trying to share, but can you read this comment here?
Yes, it says the support group grew into a full service nonprofit organization to deal with treatment and prevention of substance abuse.
Yeah, so these were mothers in crisis dealing with their children in as far as substance abuse is concerned. And what started out as a small support group turned into a national, well, first of all, a non-for-profit organization, and now they have this whole National Month of Hope. And guess what? This started in 1991. This is their 30th
Wow,
year
she's been around a
anniversary.
long time.
Yes, this is their 30th
Okay,
year anniversary, and she'll be my guest for the last Thursday coming up next week. And
okay.
so, you never know when God gives you a mission, gives you a purpose to do something that's to help other people, even though it may started out in pain
Mhm.
because of your pain, because of some hardship or something that happened to you or someone you know and love. That it's still when you say yes, when you
Mhm.
say yes, you just don't know where it will take you and how big and how much hope you end up bringing to the lives of others. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yes, I can. When you go through tragedy, you find that tragedy, there's always purpose out of tragedy.
Hmm.
A lot of people find their gifts
Yeah.
in their darkest hours,
Hmm.
in those darkest moments that you never think that you're going to come out of. And when you're speaking so deeply to your soul and you're asking God to fill you up when you feel as though you have no more in that cup, and He
Yes.
continues to keep replenishing you, and you keep saying, okay, I don't think I can do this. But then you wake up the next day and you just keep doing it. And then during that day, I don't think I can do this. But then the next day after that, what do? You wake up
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
still keep going. So
Yeah.
as He's constantly refilling and pouring that cup over and filling you up even more, and you're asking him for downloads and you're asking him for things and he's giving them to you, that's when you figure out through all of that pain, out of all of that, there came purpose for me. Not
Yeah.
just being a mother, not just being a sister, not just being a friend, but there was real purpose out of this, because the true art of it is that you're able to understand another person's walk, because all
Yeah.
of us have some walk that we can relate to.
That's right. That's
It might
right.
not be through death, it might be through
Mm-hmm.
something else, but we all can
Mm-hmm.
relate to life and
Mm-hmm.
different situations that we have, so we all have been through something that has put us in a position where we felt as though we might not be able to make it, or we might feel as though, oh my God, this is the end of the world. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not. But it's
Yeah.
not. So
But
as
it's
we
not.
ask God every day, oh, just give me some more, God. I don't know what else to do. And what does
Yeah.
he do? He wake you up the next day. You
You
get
keep
up
waking up.
and you keep waking up every day, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what you tell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go back and think about it. He
Yeah.
keeps waking you up and pushing you
Mm-hmm.
to move forward. But it's not that he's pushing us, but do we want to go forward?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. You it's like you can be in that state for sometimes longer than you need it to be, but at some point, I believe you get to a point where you say, no more. I can't keep doing this. This is not helping me, and it's certainly not helping anybody else, because sometimes you have people that are depending on you, and you're
And you
no good for them because you're wallowing in it in a
too
state
long.
that's not helpful to you or anybody else. And I
Oh
think
no.
if people get to a point where they say, you know what, it's got to be more than this. I got to see how I can turn this around so I can live. That's what I heard a lady say on one of my interviews. She said I had to make up my mind after divorce that I had to live. I
Oh
didn't die.
yeah,
I had to live.
definitely.
That's what you said. You keep waking up.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to. I mean, everything we look at relationships when we break up as a death, especially
Yeah.
if you feel like you were so in love with this person and
Hmm.
you just thought your life ended.
Yeah. And it
Oh my
feels like
God,
that.
oh my God, why they do me like this? And you feel like it feels like a death to people. It
Hmm.
really does. And the same as when you go through any form of loss,
Yes.
it is a death to them and to
Hmm.
anybody,
That's
because when
right.
you're in that relationship so deeply and you are wounded, let it
There
be
you go.
they hurt you or they've left you due to circumstances that you
Hmm.
were not in control of. It all feels like your life has ended. You don't
Yeah.
know what you're going to do. You can't stop crying. You can't stop feeling bad. And you still
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. But then you
Yeah.
just keep saying, oh, I can't move any further. But God keeps waking you up every day. So there must be something that is
For you
there
to do.
more for you to do,
Exactly.
because he
That's
keeps
right.
waking you up, but you keep telling yourself that you can't go further. But he keeps waking
Yeah.
you up and giving you the aha moment that you can keep going. But you keep saying,
Hmm.
oh, I can't do it. Well,
Yeah.
as long as we keep feeding ourselves the can'ts, we won't.
Let's see. Tanika said, "Amen." And then she let us know where's she coming in from.
She's in Southern California. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, yes, yes. And then she said, "Health." But she said, "Health and peace." Yes, it
Yes.
all works because when you stay in that state of hopelessness and you feel like it's no hope, that's gonna wear down on you. That's gonna bring depression. It could make you suicidal. It can make you, kill yourself a little bit or knock yourself off point blank. You know what I mean? A little
Mm-hmm.
bit or a lot. And it's just so important to like you said earlier, reach out. When
Yep.
when you get like that, reach out. Somebody cares.
Yeah,
Somebody
everybody
is
has
there.
somebody that
Mm.
cares. I
Yes.
don't care if it's the neighbor, I don't care who it is, but you have to be able to say, okay, I need to talk to somebody. And
Yeah.
people have to stop being
Somebody.
scared to talk about what is going on, because you
Mm-hmm.
cannot move through this without being able to vent. and
Yes,
be able to get someone else to understand and say,
that's
hey,
it.
well, maybe you can talk to this person, because everybody, if it's not them personally, they know someone that has been through
That's
something
true.
similar to your situation
That's right.
that can very well help you. But
Mm-hmm.
mental health is real.
It's
And people
very
don't
real.
realize, they don't equate mental health to physical health,
Yeah,
because you can
very
be
powerful.
so sick mentally or so depressed in the mind that the body follows. Now your organs are shutting down. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
completely ill physically.
Yeah,
That's now coinciding with the mental. So
mm-hmm.
now you are really at like, oh, I mean, at that point, you're feeling like you have nothing to live for, because now
Yeah,
mentally you're in pain.
mm-hmm.
Physically, you're in pain because now your body is not cooperating anymore.
Right. It's confused. It's
Hmm.
confused. It said we're not dead. We're still alive. So what's going on? Why is she not eating?
That's
Why is
why
she
they
not?
call it
Why is she
dead
just
man
only
walking.
living in alcohol? We can't sustain this body like this, you know.
That's why they
And
call it dead man walking. Remember that
dead
movie?
man walking.
Dead man walking. So
Mm-hmm.
people are walking around and people just assume people are okay because
Yeah.
they look like on the outside that they're okay because they've packaged all of this up.
They
But
have a
on the
when I
inside,
was
they're dying. They're
yeah
dying.
when I had that reminds me of when I was doing Instagram a lot. I ran across, over there you use a lot of hashtags
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
draw the people that you're trying to reach. And I ran across it because dealing with health and wellness from being a lymphologist and being a life coach. Um, I ran into a hashtag that's two hashtags that's kind of surprised me. One was, but you don't look sick. The other one
Hmm.
was invisible illness. You
Hmm.
know, everybody that's sick, whether it's mentally and some physical illnesses, you don't look sick. So, and so people think you're fine and you kind of put up that front,
Hmm.
but yet you're dying, like you just said, you're dying on the inside a little bit, just
Yeah.
even if it's every day, just a little bit because of the pain or whatever.
And
So,
bitterness will kill you.
yes, it will. It goes, you would
Hmm.
end up with,
Bitterness will kill you.
you
People
would
hold
end up
on.
with, the Bible says you end up with brittle bones because of bitterness.
Bitterness will
Mm,
kill you. People hold on to grudges. They don't.
yeah.
They'll hold on to something that happened 25 years ago, and you probably knew them from grammar school or high school, and they talking to you about something that happened 20 years ago, and they still mad at them. What?
You know what? I encountered during the pandemic a friend that I had from fourth grade called me. She came by the church over there, saw the phone number
Hmm.
on the sign, and she called my mother. She was like, "Is this Hillary? Are you connected to Hillary? Are you Hillary?" No, 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 no. She was just so excited. She said, "I gotta talk to her. I gotta talk to her." And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And we were getting acquainted again, after many years. And
Right.
I brought up a person who we both grew up with on the same block, who was working with President Clinton, and she's
Oh
still
wow.
in politics. And I never would have thought that this person would have ended up in politics. And she's one of the women when they were looking to get some names for Biden's vice president because he wanted to choose a woman.
Hmm.
She was on that committee that
Oh,
helped to
that's
choose.
amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, oh wow. So I was telling her about it, and she said, "Oh no, I don't like her. I don't have nothing to do with her." And I was like, "She stole my boyfriend," and I was like, "So are we talking about back when we were? Are we talking about way back fourth, fifth grade? Really?"
How do we know?
She was like, "I am not impressed by nothing she does." I was like, "Oh my god," So
That's
some
a
of that
jealous
stuff,
heart.
yeah, and you can't hold on to that stuff. At some point, it's taking up space.
Yeah, but that tells you too something about her in her as an individual. That means she has a jealous streak in her. Because it's
Something
not
there,
just
huh?
about the boyfriend.
No, no, not after
It
all
might have
these
been some
days
things
on
that this
here.
woman has accomplished. It might be some things this woman has accomplished, and she's angry
Mhm.
because she didn't accomplish certain things. You know, people just find things and it be
But
little.
she's doing pretty good too. So
She
but
might
even
be, but it might not see, it might not be what we
yeah,
think it is.
yeah,
She
it's
might have wanted
and
to
I
be in
just
a different type of position that
hmm
she's not in, but right
yeah,
now is where she is and she's making it and it's great.
yeah.
But that might
But
not be what she really wanted.
yeah, but just speaking to the point that some things you have to let it go.
Oh
because
no,
it'll make you sick. It has a
yeah.
way of stunning you some kind of way. So
Hmm.
I just want to, again, I'm thankful for Dr. Tompkins for getting this approved. And when I saw it was 30 years ago, and I was looking for her on social media, I was like, who did this? Who is this Miss Dr. Tompkins? And I saw it was a woman of color. Then I was
Hmm.
really intrigued to know more. And I went and said, let me
Right.
look for her on Facebook. And when I went to Facebook, she was on live because they were celebrating their first day of their 30th anniversary for this month. And I was like, man, I reached out to her to come on the show. And she was like, oh, I'd love to. So she's going to close out the month. So, this is keeping hope alive. Like Jesse Jackson said all those years ago, it's still something that's helpful to us to do
Yes,
as
it
a
is.
nation, as a people, as a human beings, and we saw this pandemic hit the world. I mean, it hit
Mhm.
everywhere. And
It
we
hit
all
everybody.
saw how vulnerable we are and that we need each other.
Oh, we definitely do need each other, and people should
Hmm.
not say, "Oh, I don't need this person. I don't need that person."
Hmm.
Well, you need people. It might not be those particular people.
Hmm. Yeah.
It could be your
So
family, whomever.
mhm. Yeah. So now we're going to move into who is Julie Harris, and you're the founder of the Julian D. Miller Foundation and nonprofit organization. So I want to give you an opportunity. I also have here for those that are watching on. Thank you all for being on here so much. Thank you for participating in the conversation. We thank you for that. I said call it a mantra or a motto. Is you said this is the name of the organization?
So the name of the organization is Lose a Child, Save a Child, the
Okay.
Julian D. Miller Foundation nonprofit organization.
Okay.
It
So
really is nonprofit. It's really nonprofit corp. That's what it is.
okay. So what I'm going to do right now is give you the floor so you can tell us what you would want to tell us about who you are, why you started this organization, and
Mhm.
anything else you want to share with us tonight. All
Oh,
right.
okay. Well, hello, audience. My name is Julie Harris. I am a mother of. I have two children. If you all see stuff behind me, it's because we're doing an event and we're giving away clothes to the kids. So it's a bunch of stuff that we're sorting out, and it's brand new things. Um, so my name is Julie Harris. I am a mother of two. One is deceased. I had both of my children, well, one when I was 18, and I had my other child when I was 27. So, in that aspect, I was a teenage mother. I went into construction. I had several jobs, but then I decided to go into construction, and I became a cement finisher by trade in local 502 cement masons here in Chicago. Our locals in Cook County. And in that aspect of me going into construction, I was the first person in my family, as far as a woman, to ever go into construction. I've been in construction now 20 years, 21 years, but I've also been total, it's been going on 26 years. I was a laborer first. Moving past that, I raised both of my children. I was a single mother, was in a relationship off and on, then moved on and became a total single parent by myself. Raised both my kids, as I stated. They both attended decent high schools. I did construction work actually to raise my kids because it provided me with a stable income. So let's say that because I made decent money doing it. Moving on, my son went on to high school. He started his freshman year of college, and being very transparent, my son was not a storybook. He had his issues as a teenager. So those were some trying times. He did get out of high school. He went on. I encouraged him to go on to college. When he went on to college, I only wanted him to go because I wanted him to try college just to see if he liked it. I know college might not be for everyone. I didn't go to college. So I just wanted him to experience it just to see if it would be something that he would like, because you never know what you like until you go and then you see what you like and what you don't like. He went, ended up coming home. He didn't stay. He probably was home maybe about a year. And coming into his 20th birthday, as of February 15th of 2017, he was murdered the day after Valentine's Day. And in that process for me, of course, nobody expects those things to happen with their kids. I was off work from like February to October, I can say. And I kind of said it in a while. I had to process it differently. I knew at that moment that I could not sit. How can I say this without people taking it the wrong way? I knew that at the moment when he passed, I wasn't ready to totally allow myself to give in to the process of the death, because I didn't want to stay sitting in the form of depression. I was scared of mental illness, completely terrified of mental illness. And I just asked God at that moment to just hold on to me until I was able, and asked him to give me just a little bit at a time, because I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. And I knew that I had my daughter, my granddaughter, and my father. I had to be strong for them, because if all of us had unfolded at the same time, we all would have been a mess. And nobody would have been able to do anything, or even be at a stable mind to even be able to make any decisions, move forward, none of those things. And God did just what I've asked of him. And in that process, I was able to figure out so many things that in life, God gave me the strength that I never even thought I had. I lost my mother 15 years ago, but to lose a parent and to lose a child is definitely not the same. Not the same at all. As time went on for me, my son's friends would connect with me. They always connected with me. I would talk to them, all the little boys and stuff, and even the girls. And in that process, after he passed, something just kept nudging at me. Other people's children were passing, and I would get phone calls, and people would be like, can you, so-and-so's child died. Can you go talk to them? I had started working with the company, and I didn't even know this fella. His son had got murdered, and he asked me, could his wife call me? Remind you, I didn't know him. And I talked to his wife, and she would call me every day, and she would be like, is it okay? And I would tell her, it's okay. You can call me. It's fine. We'll talk. And I would talk to her, and I would pray with her, and I would just give her things that was given to me. And those things that were given to me were things that I had prayed for. I asked God to be able to just give me all the strength that I needed to keep going. Because if I had sat in it too long, I just didn't understand how I was going to be able to come out of it. And I know at some point we all hit an area in life that something can tragically happen, and you never ever understand how mentally can you get so sucked in that you cannot get out of that black hole. And I was just terrified of mental illness. I just was. So for me, I just couldn't see it. And when my girlfriends would come over after my son passed, they would ask me, they would come over and we'd all sit and talk and laugh. And they would come over, and when it first happened, I said, don't come to my house crying. And they'll say, don't come to your house crying. I say, don't come crying. Because if you're going to cry, I want you to go home. And they said, why? I said, because I can't function like that. I can't do that. So as time went on, they understood. They understood where I was coming from, because that was not something I wanted to sit in. Mm-hmm. So they would come over and we would all just have regular conversation and stuff. And I decided, he started a clothing line, and I went on ahead and I had started that, fixing that up for him, and had went on and birthed that for him, because that was something he was doing before he passed. And it was in the beginning stages. So I ended up doing that. So after his first year of dying, passing away, we ended up starting his clothing line. We launched it. And now, last year, I said, you know what? I said, it's so much going on. I said, and there are so many people that are losing their children. And if I can save one child for every child that is lost, and I'm able to help at any point, whatever I can do, let it be, give a conversation, help a parent figure out how to get their child preventive care, not after the situation has taken place. And I don't know if any of you people that are listening that know that in the state of Illinois, if you have a male and your male son is having issues, They don't have any programs, or let's say your child's going through something traumatic and you need your child to get help. The state of Illinois, if your insurance does not pick it up, you can't send your child to a retreat center to go away if you don't have insurance. Your child has to already be in the system. So they're telling
Mm-hmm.
you that your child must become a criminal
To get
before
help.
to get any help. And
Mm.
that's sad.
Yeah.
That is so sad. I mean, so sad. And
Yeah.
these
It's
kids go
tragic.
through so much early.
Yes.
When my son lost a friend that got killed, he lost two friends. One got killed in a car accident, and the other one got shot. And it took a traumatic,
Mm-hmm.
it took him down to notice that these kids turn to pills. They turn
Mm.
to, a lot of people don't know their kids are doing the pills. They taking the pills, they putting them in the lean. They're doing all of this stuff.
Mm.
And they are
They're putting them in
becoming,
the. Wait a minute. They're putting them in the what?
it's called lean. Lean is like it's codeine, really.
Mm.
That's what it
Mm.
is. So a lot of them are getting high just to get away from the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've become addicts and they don't even know. They really don't even recognize that they're
Yeah.
addicts. They don't realize how deep drugs take you. They don't
Yeah.
realize that it's easy to start, but it's hard to stop
You know,
what
it
you've been
reminds me
doing.
of the statement. It reminds me of the statement said you may have started because you wanted to get high, but it ends up taking you further than you wanted to go.
And you, right. And a lot of them don't realize what
Hmm.
happens over a period of time of what addiction does to your
Yes.
body.
Yes.
Because now, not just now that your body is addicted, so is your mind. So all of you is addicted all at the same time because you get those urges and so
Hmm.
it's all mental and physical all in one.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so many young men are struggling. So my whole point in starting the foundation and the nonprofit was started because um I wanted to be the gap. I wanted to
Yes.
be in between the gap of
That's it.
change.
That's it.
And I wanted to be able to help facilitate young men, to help young men. Our young men are dying every single day. If they're not dying by killing each other, they're dying either from the police or they're dying mentally because they don't know what is going on with them mentally,
Hmm.
emotionally. So
Yeah.
they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know what it is that, because boys are brought here to believe that they're always supposed to be strong. They're never supposed to cry. They're never supposed to be
Oh,
emotional.
yes.
They're never supposed
Yes.
to have none of those things.
And that's not
And,
good.
and they don't know how to communicate when they're
Right.
going through something because now
In
they're
order to,
seen as soft.
right. They don't know how to
Right.
release those
They don't know
emotions
how
and
to
they
release
stay
it. And
pent
their
up.
release is either doing drugs,
Rage.
doing something that makes them feel good at that moment.
Yes.
Because
At that
everything
moment.
at that moment is just momentarily. It's a
Hmm.
momentarily type of situation.
That's right.
And when they
Yes.
wake up tomorrow or 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, they don't realize that you just got high for the moment.
That's
Because when you
all.
wake
Just
up,
the moment.
everything that's still going on is still going on. It doesn't
You know,
change because you got high. It's
it's
still
like
there.
it's yeah, it's like being able to a way of escaping what you say.
Right. And you're really
Try to
not
escape it,
escaping.
but again, it's only momentarily. It's only for until that high wears off, and then like we were talking about earlier, and then you wake up
And then
again.
when they wake up, they don't realize it's still there. So then they want to get high again. Because until you deal
Mm-hmm,
with the problem, until you deal with it and find a solution,
mm-hmm.
you never ever get past it
Yes.
because you keep saying and going back to that. So for me, when my son passed, I decided, even after a year, I said, okay, I need to go talk to somebody. I
Yeah.
went to see a therapist. And she was a very nice lady, extremely nice lady. And I was talking to her, and she even made me think about some things that were bothering me, even outside of my son's death, some things that happened that I was dealing with foundational that
Yes.
I had to
Yes.
come into grips with myself.
Yes.
And those things started to help me more. And then she had to leave or whatever, and I ended up, I couldn't go back to her because her husband got sick. So they
Mm.
tried to send me to a man, and I was like, nah, I'll go to her. But she
Yeah.
wasn't there. So I started doing the work that she gave me on my own.
There you
Then
go.
ended up getting me a life coach.
See,
And that
you
process,
know,
a life coach helped me out tremendously. And I
yeah,
still have a life coach. I have
yeah.
her, I meditate with her every morning.
Hmm.
And when I tell you it has done some amazing things for
That's
me
wonderful.
as a person, as an
Hmm.
individual. It has allowed me to understand me more. It has allowed me to understand how to hear from God more. And
Yes.
it has allowed me to understand and how to listen to me. Because
Yeah,
there's things
that's what I.
where we have to know how to listen to ourselves and stop asking other people, is it okay? So what do you
Yeah,
think? What do you
yeah.
think?
What do you think?
What do you think? You know,
Hmm.
and that has made me understand that my true alignment is with myself and God. That's where my alignment
Right.
starts.
Yeah, I went through something when I start becoming aware of myself. I was being promoted at work, and so now I was working directly with the president and CEO. And she used to tell me, "You're not aware. You don't have enough self awareness." And man, and she wouldn't tell me what, because I would look at her like, "What does that mean?" Like I got so much work to do. I don't even have time to try to figure out what that means. And she would say every time we had a weekly supervision, and every week she would say the same thing to me at some point. And I was just like, okay, let me just. I came in her office one day and just sat down and said, "Now tell me, what do you mean?" And when she talked, it made sense because when you don't have self awareness, you just push through life. You just push through, push through, push through, push through. You
Yep.
know, through the stress, through the pain, through the times when it's hard, and you miss the times that are not hard. You miss
Hmm.
the times that were good because you're so busy in your mind and in your trouble that you miss the good
Hmm.
that's happening. It's not all bad, you
No,
know.
it's not.
It's not all
And
bad.
for
So
me, through
wait.
birthing
Let's do
this.
this here before you go on. I love that you shared a whole lot, and I had some questions I wanted to ask. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But I want to acknowledge we got a couple of more people came in. I got a chance to share a little bit when I let you go first.
Which
So
want me
we
to
got
share this?
yeah, so we got Nelson. He's coming in. Nelson, let us know where you're coming in from. This is Apostle Nelson Roberson, and he's from down south there somewhere. And
Okay.
read this one here.
It says, yes, what great information.
Hmm. This is Dr. Lotus Riche.
Hi, Dr.
She has
Lotus.
a show that I co-host with her every Monday and Friday. It's called News You Can Use. Yes,
Okay, we are
and
coming
so
in
she's
from
representing Washington D.C.
all
Where
right.
are you coming in from? Let Hillary know. She's always letting people know what's going on. Then we have who we have there.
Angela. I think
And
it's Angela Ethan.
El Elting.
Elton. I couldn't see it. Hello from
Yeah.
DC. She's from DC.
Okay. You read this comment for me. I'm
It
trying to see
says,
what
who do you know that needs to hear this podcast and that you were going to share it with? Let Hillary know when the comment.
yeah, I think it's been with the comment. Yeah. Praise
Mhm.
God.
Great information from the wonderful guest. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so we have for those that are just coming in, okay, this Nelson coming in from Arkansas. I look like I've been
Okay.
meeting so many people from North and South Carolina. I was
Oh,
going to
wow.
put him in North and South Carolina, but he's from Arkansas.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming in. And let me just put so people will know who you are. This is Julie Harris. She's
Hello,
here in
everyone.
Chicago. And let me put her thing up here. She is the founder of the Julian D. Miller Foundation and nonprofit corporation organization we got here. And
That's
so
okay.
you said, and there, her main thing is because she lost a child. Her thing is lose a child, save a child. Standing in the gap for others, and that's what I do as a minister, and that's what we do as coaches, and whatever it is when you're led to help other people. That's exactly what you're doing. You're standing in the gap, whether a little or a lot,
Yes.
to help somebody else. And it's
Yes.
such an important place to be, that standing in the gap, because sometimes we're talking about holding on to them, sometimes between life and death,
Yeah.
between life
Yeah.
and death.
And I had a big revelation of that when he passed. I used to have really bad moments. And I kept saying to
Hmm.
myself, okay, God, I know I'm not supposed to keep going back to that day, that hour, and that time because I can't change it.
Right.
So I must do something different if I want to see something different come out of me
Yes.
and how I feel about the whole situation.
Hmm.
And for me, as I kept going further into it, and the days would get longer, and the days would get longer,
Yeah.
and I know they
Yeah.
might make me angry, right? And I noticed that I would shut down from people and I would turn my phone off. And I was like, okay, this is not normal. I can't, and I refuse to keep doing this. I said, so
Yeah.
something has to work in order for it to get better. So
Yes.
I started doing more work on me mentally, because mental
Hmm.
work is the first and foremost that you must do, because everything starts in the mind.
For
And
everything, for
everything starts in
whatever,
the mind.
yeah, for whatever it is you want to do in this life, because I'm dealing with health and wellness. Before, like I wrote my book, right, and it's called
Hmm.
"You Got the Power," because you actually do have the power. You got the power, and 7 ways to transform your health and peace. There are things that you have to do, and the first thing is dealing with that mental work, dealing with the words you say and the thoughts you think in, the thoughts you allow
Yep.
your mind to entertain. I say sometimes we have to like put a stop, just say stop it, and start thinking some better thoughts. And
And,
so,
and you're right, it does. It all starts.
mhm,
And I just recently took I did a virtual with a young lady, Siobhan.
mhm.
Uh, well, actually, her name is Shantae. She's a neuroscience,
Okay.
a neurologist,
Mhm.
and she talked about how we process things,
Mhm.
and not knowing that mentally, and the right side of the brain is the part of the brain that you do the organization in. That right side of the brain is the part of the brain that you say, okay, I'm going to do things this way. I feel that way. But the left side is the side that says, okay, I got to attach money to this. I got to be able to do it this way. And the money
Yeah.
got to be there. So all of that left side is your tangible side of the brain.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you must understand the balance and how your brain works. And that
Mhm.
is why a lot of us, not just me, uh, millions of us, don't understand how we're never able to move forward in
Right.
situations with people. And if somebody from your family hurts you, even in business, how we're not able to level up because
Yeah.
of the thought process. Because of the thought process.
Yeah.
So
That mental work is
stay
so
stuck.
crucial.
Right. When you stay stuck,
Mhm.
you really do stay stuck,
Yeah.
because we start feeding ourselves negative things, even in that death. People I've had people say, girl, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you could move forward. Well, what do you mean? Life didn't stop for me because he died.
Right.
There's nothing I could do about it.
Like you said earlier, I kept waking up. I didn't die, so I got to figure something else out.
Look, and it's funny because I was dead when I was laying in that bed crying all the time.
Let's see what
not
Dr. Lotus.
understanding
Yeah.
not understanding that I was walking, but I was dead at the same time, because all of the other parts
At
with
the
me was
same
dying
time.
because I was not living.
Hmm.
And I say this
Yeah.
all the time. Death is not a death sentence. The death is not a death sentence. I looked at the greater moments that I had with him as my
Yeah.
son. I
Yes.
would not have replaced him with anyone else. And I'm glad that I had an opportunity. for those 19 short years that he lived, that I was in his life every day, and that I was present and I was there.
Present.
That
No
made,
regrets.
I don't have any. I have none.
No
I have no
regrets.
regrets. None. No.
Yeah,
I don't wake
that's
up
a
any,
beautiful place.
I don't feel like I should have did anything different. I have zero regrets about me
That's a
being a parent.
beautiful place to be.
I don't have any. And for me, I thank God that
Yeah.
he's able to take me and teach me about me.
Yeah.
So
And he
he's
loves
taught me
you.
a lot about me. Oh yeah, he definitely loves
You
me
know?
because he's taught me that in this circle of life, the biggest thing for me in this was that I'm able to help another parent, another guardian, whoever the guardian is. It might not be the parent, it could be the grandmama, the auntie. I don't know.
Because it's a lot of situations.
It's a lot of them that live with other
situations.
people. And as time goes on for me, I know that I want to help these young men. I want to help them understand how important they are to themselves. You got to first feel like you're important to yourself before you're important to anybody else. Because if you rely on other people to make you feel important, then you're going to be let down every day and you're going to stay in a slump. You're going to stay upset. You're going to stay sad. You're going to stay depressed. Because tangible things, you're attached to tangible things, but those things don't make you happy. Those are just things that just add to what you have.
They fade and wither and rust. We got to hold on to what's real. Let's read this comment here. It said, this is Dr. Lotus.
She said, I just spoke on this today because these things affect us on a cellular level. It is essential that we are aware of every aspect of what we're doing and who we are and why. Also, how it is affecting us, mind, body, and soul, as well as emotionally. Yeah, I always say mind, body, and spirit, because we all are human beings, but we're humans becoming. We all shed all the time. So every time we become and we go off into something new and we change, we shed another layer because we move on to another level.
And when you think about, Bill, we got to the top of the hour already, and we got to talk about the event. But
okay.
When you think about it, the real you lives inside this body, inside your body. The real you, that part of you that being white, black, any of that stuff. It's that place where we all look the same, basically. But the real
we all look the same when it's we all look the same when it's time to lay down and leave.
Come on now. Absolutely. So I have really enjoyed you, but I wanted to make sure that we let people know about your event, because some of the people that'll see this broadcast are here in Chicago or in the Chicago area. And even those that may not be there, we do have your where they can donate to your efforts. And so I want to, make sure that we talk about that. So let me put the post up here, and then you can tell everybody about the event that's coming up this Saturday. Here it is. Giving without expectations, giving to our youth. It's this Saturday, the 24th, and it's going to be from 12 noon to 3 p.m. And it's going to be just the doors down from where the church is, 11302 South Michigan Avenue.
Here we go.
Take a screenshot or swipe it, or however you get a picture so you can put it back up again. Yes. Right. There you go. Giving without expectations. Yes. Okay.
I'll put it back up here for you guys.
Okay.
And I'll turn it around the other way for you guys. So on Saturday from 12 to 3 o'clock, and that wear socks, t-shirts, we're giving out what else? We're giving the girls sanitary napkins. We're also giving out food. We're feeding the kids as well. So the ages are 6 years old to a senior in high school. So in this, what we're doing, we want to be able to help any parent that we can facilitate. Any parent that we can facilitate, people tend to believe that if you see a child in a pair of gym shoes or this or that, you don't know what their parents are going through. You don't know how these kids are attaining these things. They might be wearing their sister's clothes, their brother's clothes, a friend's clothes, a friend's shoes. You don't know. So the whole deal was for me that I felt that it was very important that we understand that a child's morale is boosted when they have clean underwear. They have a new toothbrush, some toothpaste. The average adult does not change their toothbrush every 3 months like they're supposed to. So true. In this case, if a parent has to decide, shall I pay my rent, the phone bill, the light bill, and I got 4 or 5 kids, or I got 3 kids, or I could have 2 kids and only make $10 an hour, $7.50 an hour. I can't afford right now to go buy my baby some new undershirts and some new panties, and both my kids wear 2 separate sizes. I can't do it today. So the average child, if their parents really don't have it, they're getting underwear during Christmas, their birthday, maybe Easter. Who knows?
Y'all going to say maybe Easter.
No, they don't get a toothbrush every 3 months. So if you count every 3 months, that's 4 toothbrushes within a year, because that's a quarter. Every 3 months is a quarter. So the average child does not get that. So I want to, my organization, which is Lose a Child, Save a Child, it's several people in my organization. I have to, a lot of people have helped me, the Target Group, Right Way Construction, my pastors and things over here, Hillary and her mom has been a great blessing for me. Operation Peace, which is right down the street from them, the Ozone, Bella Bands. It's been several organizations. My son's brother and so many of a couple of his friends have helped. They've donated. I have quite a few people that have actually volunteered to help. So this is not our first event. Our last event, we fed 400 families. So and all of this Saturday, I want you guys to come out. If you can't come, send your sister with your kids. We're going to feed the kids. I'm going to barbecue for the kids. We're going to give them a hot dog or a hamburger. We're going to give them some water. We're going to give them some stuff, and it's going to be hot. It's going to come off the grill. I got all the little fixings for them. And we're going to give them a bag of chips and a bottle of water. I don't believe, I'm sorry, people, I'm just being honest. I don't believe in giving kids a bunch of juice and all that. I don't buy pop. I'm just being honest with you.
It's good. I'm in agreement. I don't have no problem with that.
Everything is new. Everything is new. So everything we purchased is brand new. Okay, so your kids will get hand sanitizer, a face mask. They're going to get body soap. They're going to get a toothbrush, toothpaste. They're going to get a mask. They're going to get underwear, socks, and a t-shirt. And the girls will get sports bras. And the girls will also get that are on, that deal with their cycle. I have someone that's going to donate. A lady's going to donate sanitary napkins to the girls where they'll have a long supply.
Yeah, so basic.
Basic needs.
Basic essential needs. It's, sometimes, like you said, we don't think about, we don't think about it. And the other thing that's so beautiful that God's put on your heart is that the children, it helps to boost their morale.
Make them feel good. Make them feel good. Yeah. I mean, what child don't want to wake up and have on some clean underwear and be able to wash up and feel good when they put their clothes on? Because that takes them where once they do the foundational part, then they want to put on iron their pants, or they don't want their pants wrinkled.
Right.
They don't want to have on a dirty jacket.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tend to assume things that children have based on what they see. You don't know what people should never assume. And we're doing this in honor as well. My son would have been turning 24 as of tomorrow.
Okay.
So on Saturday, we're doing this event in honor of his birthday. So for every child that needs, it's nothing wrong with giving kids essentials. My kids were never without essentials. So I don't know what they're actually struggling in that process. So I want to be in my organization. So when your kids come out, just let them know we're going to have them fill out, put their name down so we can be able to always contact them when we're doing something else. And if a parent is having an issue with their sons, they can call us and we can get them some tools and point them in the right direction as time goes on. This time next year, people, I hope to have, and I'm not going to say hope, I will. I will have two
There you
safe
go.
houses because I
Yeah.
want to be able to facilitate these young men with some training, with a
Yes.
high school diploma or a GED. And as me being as a tradesman in the cement finishers local, hopefully, if they're interested in any of the trades, we can point them in the right direction and
Yes.
get them on their way so they can have a skill set that if they
Yes.
never ever decide to stay in that, they can always build a business later on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about
Yes.
getting the skill. Once you get the
Yes. That's
skill,
true.
you can do anything with the skill.
Mm-hmm. You
So
always be able to make some money legally,
legally,
and feel good
legally,
about it.
and
Feel
we
good
don't have
about
enough
yourself.
programs for
Mm-hmm.
the young men. The young
That's
men
right.
don't have enough stuff out here for them. If they're
Yeah, you
not
hear
in a sport,
a lot of stuff for the girls.
it's always
You
stuff
know.
for us as
Mm-hmm.
women or girls all the time. But these young
Mm-hmm.
men, if they're not, they have to find their own mentor. If they're not in a basketball program, a football program, or
Yeah.
this or that, if it's just a child that is having some issues, he might not never
Yeah.
play sport.
That's right. That's right.
So, we have to understand that we can't sit by and keep saying, oh, he's bad. Oh, he's horrible. Well, that one is this. But when are you
Mhm.
going to be a part of the change?
Yeah. Make a difference
What are
in their
you going to
life.
do to help facilitate these things?
Because one thing that always get me kind of
And keep
froze
stop
there.
walking by acting like you're not seeing this. This
Right.
goes on
One
in
thing that
people's families.
yeah. One thing that gets me a lot that makes me think when it comes to young people is a lot of times they don't have a voice. That they just say, oh, it's just a kid, it's just a child. He ain't talking about nothing. But sometimes they just need to be heard too. It means a lot. They'll just feel like you're muted because your voice don't matter. And I know that that's a part of what you'll be doing as well. And I'm just loving what you're
They want to
doing
be
and
heard.
wanting to make sure that
They
we
want to be heard
share.
because they have a voice.
Yes, they absolutely do.
And right. And
And
what we
sometimes
have
I
to
spend
realize
time
is we
with,
have to ask them, what are they doing?
yeah, when what's the saying that says nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's true though,
And
because I
that's a
truly
big one.
believe that these kids have to understand they have to, the boys have to be able to connect emotionally to
There you
someone
go.
because the
Yeah,
emotional connection for them is what's going to help them get out of the slump
yes.
because emotionally it's wearing on their minds because
Hmm.
they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah,
They don't know how and they get so deep, they get so deep in it that they don't know how to come out of it.
right.
So they're still struggling, they're still making it
Yeah.
through. And I'm gonna say one thing. I want people to stop telling their kids, oh, he'll figure it out. Well, do you figure
No, no, you need help.
there's these kids, some of these kids are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. What do you mean they'll figure it out? There's people that are 40 years old,
That
50
have
years
not
old, and
figured
has
it out.
not figured it out. So let's stop telling these kids they're going to figure it out. We have to stop
Right.
telling them those things. How about
Mm-mm.
help and give them some tools? If you got to Google it,
Some
if you got to have a
strategies.
conversation, they have more stuff out here now. Well, you
Yeah,
can find out whatever you want to know on the internet.
that's
When we
right.
was
That's
coming
right.
up, there wasn't no internet. Everything was
Mm-mm.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
So everything now is all open. You can Google so much information. There is no way in the world. If you really want, don't ever give up on your kids. I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's hard for some people because they feel like their children are just the worst, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
There's some disconnect
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
Yeah. That's
And
it
you
right
have to
there.
figure out
A
where the
disconnect.
disconnect is. You got to
And we
find
have
out where the disconnect is.
and plug it back in.
So you
Plug it
have
back
to
in.
figure out where it is in order for the change to take place.
All
Right.
right.
You got to figure out
So
what a disconnect is.
hmm
But the
I have one.
disconnect starts in the mind.
Yeah.
And until you figure out that part of the mind, then you're never going to be able to
Because the other
connect with
thing
them
is
at that level to get them where they need to be. So, you have to figure out where the disconnect is. So you have to figure out where the disconnect is. But the disconnect starts in the mind. And until you figure out that part of the mind, then you're never going to be able to connect with them at that level to get where you need
right.
them
Even
so
so,
they can
so
figure
think
who they are.
about, hmm think about this. Even though they may still be in school, some of these, all of them not dropouts. They got these
I
issues,
think that we
but they
someone
don't teach. They
said
don't teach.
I
But they don't wait.
think
They
that
don't
we
teach this kind of
have
stuff
to
in school.
give with expectation. When we get off, we have to expect that God will replenish us, and so we can continue giving in God's name. Congratulations.
Hmm
Oh no, I would never think that.
Let's
No,
see.
they don't.
I think we have to give with expectations. You
Hillary, do
can't
you
hear
know him?
me. No, you can't hear me now.
Now I can hear you.
Um,
No, I can
okay,
hear you.
I'm kind of. It's kind
I
of
can hear you now.
delayed. Okay, so
Yeah, I
let me read the
see.
comment. It said when we get off, we have to expect that God will replenish us so we can continue giving in God's name. I love it. I'm confident that it's going to be a powerful event. But you know what she's saying, given with expectation that God is going to meet your need. Sometimes we have
Mm-hmm.
to give even when it seems like we don't have it to give. When
Mm-hmm.
your heart is so there, even if it's a little, give that. Give what you have, so that it's a part of the answer. It's a part of the solution. And you're talking about an expectation that God is going to meet your need. God
Right.
is
And
going to take care of you. And when you taking care of God's people, He got ways of making sure you're going to be all right.
oh yeah. And when I put giving
Mhm.
without expectations, the expectation was that people tend to think that that you always have to receive monetary.
Yeah,
Um,
no. Mm-mm.
and that's my giving without expectation is because I'm giving without the expectation of the people. I'm giving without an expectation from them
Yeah,
at
right.
all.
You just giving.
I'm not because God gonna send the people. He gonna send
Yeah,
the people.
yeah. And you doing what you can do, and
He's
God
gonna
honors
send the
that.
people because
God
I'm doing it
honors
from
that.
my heart.
So then let's see. Angela says, what children are
And I
looking
and I
for
and
is
I and I'm
love, how to love.
how to
But if
love
no
with more
one models
positive
that
behavior to
positive behavior to them, then they won't be as successful. Yes, we can't leave
yeah.
love out of it.
Oh
We
no,
cannot leave
definitely
love
not.
out of
No, they do
it.
want love. Kids
Mhm.
want boundaries.
Yeah, they
Kids want
do.
boundaries. They want boundaries. They want rules. They
Because
want you to do those things. They
that
want
says you care.
they want that.
That says
Now,
you care, that you love
sometimes
them.
yeah, those rules might not be the rules you want, but
Right.
at some point they want you to be able to say, okay, nope, you can't do this.
Yes.
And not just say because I said so, but you
hmm
also have to say to them, well, why do you think I should let you do this?
hmm
Because what if this happens? What can you do if this happens?
Right.
What can you do
Yeah.
if you have to stand in the middle of a
In the
situation?
gap. You're in the gap
What
again.
do you know how to do? Or what can you do to ensure yourself that this will not take place? Because you only
Right.
can control of you. You're not in control of your buddy. You're not in control of the girl that you're hanging out with. You're not in control of anybody else but yourself. And the only
And
person
you,
that is left to figure it out, that is left to tell the mother, the daddy, the whomever what happened, is you.
you know,
So,
that's that brings them to the realization and to the awareness you're still a child. You know, even though you're a teenager, you're still a
mhm.
child. Your brain ain't all the way grown up as you trying to be, because they can't think past some of the consequences. Like you were just talking about, they don't even think that far. I just want to do this thing. I want to go there. I want to be with everybody else, but they're
Mhm.
not. They don't know a lot of times to think ahead. What if this and what if that?
And
So
a
yeah,
lot of
they
times
need to.
we don't think ahead as adults.
You know,
We don't. A lot of times we just
yeah.
jump in. Oh, I want to do this.
Mhm.
Ooh, I want to
Mm-hmm.
go do that.
And
And
say
then,
something told me
man,
not to do it, but I went ahead anyway. So,
and and I thank everybody. I just want people to just bring their kids. I will be
yeah.
doing more stuff. Like I said, we will be feeding again. I'm trying to set up something,
Okay.
hopefully with Feeding America.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so hopefully, with that I can't really speak on how far that's going to go, but I know
Right.
once we get things going, it's going to go well. My whole point for me is that I want our people to understand that we don't have to go far to get what we need.
Right.
We don't always have to go far to get what we need. Like you said, you're a health coach, a life coach. I'm in school
Mm-hmm.
to be a holistic health and wellness coach.
Mm-hmm.
I want to open up a holistic health and wellness spa because
Yeah.
in our neighborhoods, we have to understand how important it is that the food that you eat affects the way you think. The food that
Mm-hmm.
you eat affects the way your body functions. The food
Mm-hmm.
that you eat affects everything about what you're doing. It makes you
Yeah.
tired. Years ago, I used to think I was a sugar head. I loved sugar. But
Mm-hmm.
recently, I figured out sugar makes me tired.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, I get a boost for real, like in 3 minutes. And then after
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm yarning. I swear to God, I could just go to bed.
Yeah.
So now I know I cannot. I can't eat sugar like that anymore.
Yeah. 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 But
Um,
yeah, that's so true. We do need to be
so
teaching more for our young.
overall, I just know
Okay.
about eating healthy, and eating healthy means we need to incorporate, and they need to understand how important it is that eating vegetables as a kid. I didn't eat a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't eat a lot of. In our neighborhoods now, you got 1,000 people don't cook no more. Half of these kids
Right.
don't know what it is to eat string
All they
beans.
know is
They don't know what it
fast
is to
food,
eat
hamburgers,
collard greens.
French
They don't
fries.
eat beans, and they'll tell you, "Oh, I don't eat that. Oh, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that." Well, why? I don't know. I don't eat it. I don't know. I ain't had it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are things that people need to understand that their children, and with us feeding in this feeding portion that I'm going to move forward with, I want to be able to make sure that I'm in those boxes that I get more vegetables.
Yeah, yeah. And
More vegetables.
they do a lot of vegetables. When we were distributing food this last year, we the fruits and vegetables were so fresh. You know,
And that's amazing.
sometimes it was so fresh that people thought something was wrong with it. Like once
That's
we
because
got
they've
some,
never seen them look
yeah,
like that.
I know we got celery. We got celery that was so green. Even we were looking at it saying, now we have never seen celery this green in the store ever. I had never seen celery that green. I said, this
Right.
is straight from the ground to us, giving
And
it
that's
out.
that's beautiful though, because
And yeah.
those things are
And they would say,
important.
is that celery all right? He said, this is fresh as fresh can be, you know, until
And
they
that's
thought
what I
something was
want.
wrong with
I
it.
want us to understand that us living holistically is not about being a vegan. People get
No, no,
holistic
no,
living with being a vegan. Holistic
no.
living is that your whole, everything about your embodiment of you
Mm,
must
yeah,
be in alignment. That means
yeah.
your health wellness must be together. Your
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, you got to work on
Yeah,
yourself spiritually, because you can tear yourself down just from stress.
that's right. So yeah,
And
we
when
could
you
we
don't
could go on and
have
on here because
anywhere to
now we're getting
release
into yeah, now we're getting into
yourself,
my jam.
right?
Yes, love it.
So I
So
want
it's now.
everybody to come
So listen.
out. Please bring your kids.
Okay, so I want to
Right.
say,
So I want everybody to come out. I think
wait a minute. For
it's
based
from
on
12
everything
to
we
3
talked
on
about,
Saturday.
okay, we're having a delayed speaking thing.
I keep saying a delay. Your
So
mic was moving, but not coming out.
okay, so what was I going to say? For your last word to the people, we started out talking about hope,
Hmm.
And then we talked about all the wonderful things that you're doing for the children and just being able to focus on on the youth. What would be your last words of encouragement, inspiration, or wisdom that you would like to share with the people? Because we're well after the hour now.
Okay. My last word would be to always know that you matter. If nobody else has to tell you that you matter. You must know deep down within your being of your heart of hearts that you matter to you. And when you matter to you, you start reflecting that upon yourself, then you start attracting those people that feel like you matter to them, that life matters to them, that they matter to themselves. And what happens is a lot of things will change. You have to want change. And if you want change, work on change. Pray and ask God. Believe me, He's going to hear you. Believe me, He's going to have some things show up in your life. But you have to be able to understand how you will be able to recognize it. You have to know that there is a part of you that must recognize what it is that God has for you. And you cannot keep sitting still thinking that change will happen without any work. And that work comes within yourself. Once you work on yourself, there is so much personal development out here, people, that we must put inside of ourselves in order for change to happen. You know, there is so much within us as a being. God never put you here to never ever be and have change. He wants you to change. He wants you to be a time of change. He wants people to see you. He don't want you to be who you was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. He wants you to see that there is change within you, because believe me, people watch you and see you when you don't even know people are watching and seeing you. So you never know what you're doing, how it affects other people. And I want to say something and then I'm going to let you guys go. All of you young men out here, just know that you might think nobody cares about you. People truly do care about what you're doing. Because believe me, anything that you're doing, it affects anybody that loves you. You put It affects other people that you're harming and their family members. So everything that is done, it affects a circle and a mass of people. It does not just affect you or the one person, because everybody has somebody that loves them and that they're attached to. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. But go out here every day and know that you want to be different. And when you want change, you're going to focus on the change, because the change is within you. God placed it in you, and we all got gifts. So focus on your gift. Ask God what your gift is, and He'll give it to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight, Julie. I just so appreciate it, and I enjoyed the conversation. And if you want to make a donation, you're out of town or something, there's her cash app there. You can take a screenshot or whatever of that so that you can contribute to it.
And
So
I do have a Facebook page for the organization, and I do have an
mhm.
Instagram page as well.
Okay. And what is the name of it?
The Instagram is LA. So it's Lose a Child, Save a Child, but it's an acronym. L.A.C.S.A.C. So it's Lose a Child, Save a Child. So it's LACSAC.
Okay, I got too many L's going on here.
So it's, just remember, after every letter, there's a dot. So it's
Oh, okay, I didn't have it done.
LACSAC. Yep, LACSAC.
All right. So that's where you can find her on. Let me see.
Instagram. That's the
Yes,
Instagram.
let me see. So that's
That's the IG page. LACSAC with a dot in between each one.
okay. So you can follow her there, follow what they're doing in the world, and they're located here in the Chicagoland area, just right down the street from where we have church. And so I'm so glad that God connected us, and we'll, be seeing how we can collaborate and help in times like this, the event that you have coming up and so on. And Angie
Right.
says that was powerful. If you enjoyed
Thank you, Angie.
um, Julie tonight, our conversation on tonight, put a 5 in the comment. That's the number of great.
And if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. I'm under my name, Julie Harris.
Julie Harris, yes.
Right.
So just wait for me in the studio in the back room there for just a
Yes, I
little
will.
bit, and I'm gonna close this out. And I'm again make sure that you go to this. If you're in the Chicagoland area, if it's not for you, tell somebody that you know could benefit from this. It's about the children. It's about help to parents. Help that's real help. And so
Yes.
I'll put that back up as I'm closing out.
And I thank
So
you for
that
having me. I thank you for having me, Hillary. I really
you're
do.
welcome. You're
I really
welcome.
do.
You're welcome.
Tell
And
your
I'd
mom
like
I
to
said
get,
thank you.
I sure will as soon as I get off here.
Okay. I'll
So
be
as you wait in the back, I'm going to just close this broadcast out. Thank you so much. Well, this was a really good conversation tonight. Again, this is still the National Month of Hope, and that's how we started this our broadcast out tonight, talking about hope. We have to keep hope alive, even beyond this month, and that's what the people that started it, Dr. Tompkins, was not just about 1 month, but just to become aware of it and then keep it going. And you keep it going by doing what you can do to help somebody else to have hope, to hold on to hope, to choose hope instead of hopelessness. And so I thank God tonight for everything that we talked about. I thank God that there are people, out here that are answering the call to be helped, answering the call to do something that God has given them that they can do. What is it that God has given you that you can do? Begin to, not just think about it, but act on it. Become that change that you want to see in the world right around you. We all can do something, whether it's a little or a lot. It makes a difference in the lives of somebody else, whether it's children or adults, families, whether it's in dealing with grief, dealing with addiction, whatever it is that God has laid on your heart, that thing that keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. I should try this, try it, do it. And God will begin to send you the kind of help that you need so that it can flourish. This is the time. The time is now to do what you can do. And so, with that, I want to say thank you for coming on this broadcast tonight. Thank you to my replay viewers as well. You can come. I'm here every Tuesday every Thursday for Let's Get Acquainted. Every Thursday for Let's Get Acquainted, where I showcase someone that is doing something for others, that want other people to know this is what I'm doing. Come check it out. Be a part of the change as well. And so if you feel that you have something that you would like to be showcased, all you need to do is direct message me right here on Facebook, and I'll get in touch with you and we can make that happen. And also every Tuesday night, I'm here for the Vibrant Good Health Show, where I'm talking about things that you can do to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life, because you absolutely got the power to make that happen as well. And so visit me on Tuesday nights. If you're not following, make sure that you're following me so that you'll get the notifications. If you would like to join my Facebook group, it's called Transform Your Health and Peace. Something else. Oh, talking about answering the call. We have a event coming up May 15th. It's called Family Pioneers. And are you the first in your family to answer the call to ministry or business, or to do something that's never been done in your family that's to help other people? We're having this event for those people, for people that are called now, that are going through now. Being a pioneer is not necessarily easy. There are hardships when you're trying to push the boundaries, stretch the boundaries, make it a way for other people coming behind you. So this is going to also be a time of refreshing and restoration, because you can go through. And sometimes you need to stop, breathe in, breathe out before you go back at it, doing what God has called you to do. So I'll have more information in the comments so that I can put the link there. So you can click on the link, get your ticket. It's $25 donation. And this is a Saturday. It's going to be virtual across the Zoom platform. And it will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Family Pioneers. And so that's going to be a part of ministry from our church, Word Alive Ministries, because you know I am a pastor. Now, I'm your Bible Life coach, certified lymphologist, author, speaker, and a pastor. So God has given me something to do. He said, Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And with that, He's taken my life to add value to yours or somebody you know and love. So be with me again next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Vibrant Good Health Show. And next Thursday for Let's Get Acquainted. If you would like to be on the show, direct message me and we can have that talk and get you on. So have a good evening. And don't forget this event. If you're in the Chicagoland area, come out to 11302 South Michigan. And this is that Saturday, the 24th. It is called Giving Without Expectation, Giving to the Youth. And it's going to be a 3 hours, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it's going to be a great time of giving essentials as well as some hot food to eat and just a great time. And I know if myself and my mother are going to be there, it's going to be some prayer going on too. People need prayer as well. And so we thank God for Julie, our guest tonight. And I just say, have a good night and I'll see you next week.